Hey, what up, my comic book please? Coming at you with a review today, another graphic novel review here. We're gonna be rolling with IDW Publishing today. You know, I like to mix it up a little. Outside of the big two, we see millions of reviews on those. This one is called Hammer of the Gods. It's written and drawn by Michael Ivan Omin, who I'm a fan of. Dig his art, brings a lot of energy in its own style. And letter and color are Mark Wheatley. Volume 1, The Mortal Enemy. Now, as you see here, it's the character himself. It's like a glossy touch to him, and the rest of the book is a matte finish. It says Volume 1. It can be a little there's a spine right there. It can be a little misleading because I don't think there's a Volume 2, so I don't know why it says Volume 1 on there. That's an idea of the art you're gonna get up in there. This is the back. Retails for $20 cover price. It's an older book, so you might be able to find it a little cheaper. It's about 230 pages or so. Now the quality itself is very nice quality as far as paperbacks go. A little heavy. The paper stick though. The paper on this is better and thicker than what you will get in a Marvel Omnibus or hardcover or a DC one. Now on those, I know why they do it. You want the book to be a little thinner and also because when it's so many pages, if the pages are thick, it doesn't open up correctly. But I like it on this, on a thinner book like this. I like these thick pages. On a bigger book, I like them a little thinner. If you're familiar with Thor or with Conan the Cimmerian, you get a lot of those tropes up in here. You get introduced to the Valkyrie, to Thor, the gods, all that good stuff. But then you get stories that are a little bit like they're a little bit more like Greek mythology, if you will. But the characters are definitely Norse mythology. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a brief rundown of a little explanation of what the story's about and a little bit about the characters without spoilers. And for the first half and the second half of this video, once I'm gonna get into the pages. I'm gonna show you the interiors. So when I get to that will get a little more spoilery because I'm gonna be showing a few scenes and describing the art and what's actually happening, what's going down. So that can be spoilery, and after that, we just wrap up the video. All right, so you with me? A lot of powers because she was like out in the snow ready to die, and his parents, when he was a baby, they brought her in, gave her food, whatever, looked out for her. She said, I gotta repay the favor. So she gave him all these powers. She says, your son will be a very powerful man, and in return, the only thing I ask is he never wields a weapon because I don't want him abusing this power or using it for violence. They agree. The dad, as Mari grows up and so forth, he tells him, Mari, you must never wield a weapon because the gods will curse us. He doesn't get into details why, what happened as a kid or any of that stuff. But he just lets them know don't ever wield a weapon. And he wanted to be a soldier. He's a Viking, whatever. So he wants to be up there putting work in, you know, and he can't because he's told never to wield a sword. So he's like a farmer. He finds that lame. So anyways, one day he's out fishing, catching food, bringing vegetables, whatever. He leaves for a few months. When he comes back, his parents are dead. That's not really a spoiler. That's where the story starts. These are his motivations for what everything that's to come later. He grows to despise the gods because the frost giants did this, and why were the gods not there to protect us? They're like, Mari, do not wield a weapon. The gods will punish you. He was like, the gods can't even protect themselves. How are they gonna punish me? Like they're scared of these frost giants. Can't even protect us. Like I got no respect for them, no love. And later on, you figure out the reasoning behind all this stuff, why it all happened. So this is very much a story of a loss. Like he lost his loved ones and redemption. You go through the steps. You got anger. Then you want revenge. Then you want redemption and so forth. And then you get closure at the end. So he definitely goes through all that. You get a lot of the stories that are like Greek mythology type stories with Medusa and stuff like that. But the characters and so forth, the heart of the story is still very grounded in Norse mythology with Vikings and gods and all that. So I thought Mari was a likable character. He went back and forth. Sometimes he did things I didn't like. Then sometimes he did things I did. So he's somewhere in between, just like any of us would be. And you know, in real life, very humanized. That sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you're likable. Sometimes you're not, depending on your situation, what you're going through at that time. So yeah, the villains here, it ranges from different villains, and villains could turn good, and they're back in your play, and then your friends could turn against you, and they're rooting for your downfall. So it goes back and forth. You don't know who's who here. It goes back and forth as far as all that goes. You can never trust anybody basically. So I like what they did there with that. I like the villains here. There you got Loki, one of the main villains. If you like Thor, you already know Thor, Loki, all that stuff. You got all those characters up in here, and Odin's son. So a lot of the characters are much like Loki, like they're kind of tricksters. But he's the main one. He's the trickster that could shapeshift and all that. But a lot of characters are like that. They're kind of shady as well. No one's fully to one side or the other. If that makes sense. And that's all I really gotta say about that. I think the story was well done. The art, it's my thing. I like it. I would give this somewhere like a 7 out of 10. So now let's get into the little bit more spoilers. I'm gonna get through a few scenes here, show off the art, and show off what's happening in those scenes, so you get a better idea of the story if you wish to. If you don't plan to buy this, but you kind of want to know a little more about the story, we're gonna get to that right now. All right, so here's the book. Here's the dedications page on the cover, the back of the cover. Michael Evan Omin dedicates this to his hero Alex Toth and Mike Mignola. Definitely heavily influenced by Mignola. And Mark Wheatley dedicates this to his father, Clyde Wheatley, who knew how to tell a good story. And this has a lot of to do with family and stuff too right here. Kind of revenge with the gods as well. Here's some of the art. This right here is by Peter David. It's giving you talking a little bit about the story and the inspiration behind it. Okay, so here you see the creators. You got Michael Evan Omin on the right, Wheatley on the left. It's pretty cool right there. They horsing around and stuff. Here you got like an after David or something like that. Omin's talking about he gave up doing comics in the late 90s. Then an opportunity presented itself when Michael Bendis asked him if he wanted to work with him on Powers. He was like, I'm digging the whole idea of doing superhero books. I'm cool with that. It's not my thing. He's not a fan of it. So, because the book was called Powers, but Bendis let him know it's a detective story, but the crimes are superhero related. So it was a nice little twist on everything. And he was sold. He's like, all right, I could get behind that. Here's some of the sketches. Some more interviews right here. A little bit about his career and the opportunities that came his way. Some of the art. Some more art. This art is doesn't come out in the books. It's like variant covers and sketches that weren't on there. Some neat stuff here on the interview as well if you want to read it. It has a good amount of back matter. That's one thing I like. Here's some of the characters right here. Some sketches. But she can still kick your Asgard. She is considered to be the least of the fabled Valkyries. Okay, so you get a lot of back matter right here, especially for a trade paperback. It's pretty cool. Look at these sketches. I'm digging this one right here. I really enjoyed this one when I was looking at it. That's legit right there. So here's the rough pencils. Look at this. The art has a lot different feel without the colors. Just the raw pencils without inks or anything. Once it got the inks and everything going, then it looks a lot more cartoony. Last page. Now let's dig into some of the interiors as far as the story wise. Here you see Marty smashing on one of the frost giants. It's a little comedic right here. Threw some snow right at his nutsack. So they see Marty putting in work, and you see the rest of the regular humans, they're inspired by that. They're like, we should help him, you know, we should help him to get rid of these frost giants and then to avenge ourselves against the gods for not protecting us like they're supposed to. And look at this page right here, the Valkyrie. Very dynamic page. I mean, they're just standing there, they're not doing anything, but the colors and just the pose, you know, they're like somebody important, like this is a big moment. You know, like, oh shit, like these are somebody. Found one of the humans there after the battle. Look at this, very gritty too. Look at this guy. Oh, it's getting a little blurry there. Damn. They were just gonna kill him to get him out of his misery. But then they said just let him live, let him die on his own. Alright, so you get a good idea of the art and so forth. You know, if you know Thor or Norse mythology with the gods and so forth, you got a pretty good idea. Conan, got a pretty good idea of what you're gonna get here. A lot of Vikings, a lot of action. But you also get a good story in here too. So yeah, man, it's pretty good read, and the art is really good. I give the art like a 9. Okay, so you already know. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw. Hit that bell. Leave your comments on the bottom. And you know, it always helps to hit that like button as well. So I'll just check you guys out next time.